calling from Arizona. Jones, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Jones.
It's James.
Oh, hey, James, you're on the air. Go ahead.
And I don't call Free Talk Live, so-called, to get underneath goat or to get underneath anybody's skin. I just call in when I disagree with, sometimes strongly, your so-called minister friend over there who calls himself a minister and doesn't want to talk to me because he's so filled with hate. I don't know any minister that I've ever met that wouldn't want to talk to somebody that he hated, let alone thought that they were insane or maniac or all that.
Actually, just to be clear, James, he did talk to you the last two times you called in.
No, he didn't. He talked over me. Just like I was trying to ask a rhetorical question last time I called in about the reason why you can't find any pictures on the internet of Christians chopping off people's heads, like Mark butted in to remark to me that there were. The reason why you can't find any pictures of Christians chopping people's heads up, is because there haven't been Christians like that for like 1,000 years.
Well, actually, it's funny you bring that up, James. It's funny that you bring that up because I've actually got a story about that.
Stupid point.
Yeah, I got you. But I'm responding now to your point because we're going to have a conversation here. And it's funny that you bring that up because I actually had in my show prep for tonight a story from the London Evening Standard where Jennifer Mills Wesley, age 60, was repeatedly stabbed and beheaded while shopping in a popular resort of Los Cristianos. Homeless Bulgarian drug addict Dejan Denanov, age 29, has denied murdering the grandmother of 5 from Norwich at his trial at the provincial court in Santa Cruz. Answering questions in Bulgarian with the help of interpreter, he did tell the court that he is haunted by voices in his head which tell him how to act. He claimed they told him he was an angel of Jesus Christ who is going to create a new Jerusalem. So it sounds to me like you've got an individual here who believes that he's a Christian who may have actually beheaded a woman. So there's one example for you, James. Maybe it just doesn't get the reporting that that the
maybe
Muslims.
Will Connolly or any other Christian would call him a sociopath, not a Christian. But ISIS is for real, and they really are chopping people's heads off because they believe God commanded them to do such. Because they have read the Quran, and they do believe the passages in the Quran that command them to do that, and they believe it wholeheartedly as you believe.
There was no command like that in the Quran that I read. Thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. We had, by the way, for listeners just tuning in tonight, grab our Saturday show from this week. Go to freetalklive.com. We actually had a Muslim on the line with us for 3 hours on Saturday night. He fielded every question you could possibly imagine, at least that all of our listeners could imagine on that one night, about being a Muslim and, what does the Quran actually say, and are Muslims violent, and do they hate women, and, all kinds of those issues were addressed.
And we had a meme on our Facebook page, facebook.freetalklive.com, that showed some what appeared to be ISIS folks in a kneeling down in sort of a 90-degree angle to do their daily prayers. Anybody who knows anything about Islam knows that you're supposed to kneel towards Mecca, and if you're in a 90-degree angle, somebody, at the very least, half of the people are not kneeling towards Mecca. So one really has to sort of question how good are these Muslims that are there's lots of people in the U.S. military that call themselves Christians. That doesn't mean that people believe the U.S. military is prosecuting Christian wars. But one of the things that Will Coley said during his long interview with us was that nationalism is counter to Islam. That Sharia law that is Islam basically says that nationalism shouldn't exist. That your loyalties should lie to God, and that when it comes down to a religion, there's many Christian religions that believe the same thing. What comes to mind are Jehovah's Witnesses aren't supposed to vote, nor are Amish, Mennonites. Quakers, I know that are against saying like the pledge, things like that.
Anybody who's read the Quran knows that it's really almost like a continuation of the Bible. It's sort of like, part 2, sort of essentially the story being that the angel Gabriel, the same one, appeared to Muhammad and gave him some corrections.
That's his claim,
essentially. Gave him some corrections. Hey, the Bible editors kind of got this information wrong, so you need to put this out there. That was sort of the basis for Islam. So but again, I can't do it justice. I've done a cursory examination compared to Will Coley from Muslims for Liberty. He was on our show with us Saturday night this last weekend. So just go to freetalklive.com, download that at your convenience, and it's very enlightening.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.